Well, 1 year ago today, Tyre Nichols was pulled off life support, adding to the anguish of his family, who knew something went terribly wrong when Memphis police pulled him over in a traffic stop 3 days earlier.
Tonight, many are honoring his life, his story, shocking the city of Memphis and many around the world. Tyre is being memorialized in many places, including the site where it all began at the corner of Castlegate and Ross Road.
Here is the latest view of that memorial that was built almost immediately. People dropping off balloons, stuffed animals, even skateboards, symbolic of his love for skating. Then back in May, Memphis artist David Yancey painting this mural of Tyre in North Memphis on Jackson Avenue.
It shows him in a button-up and tie, one of the many powerful pictures that gave us our first look at who he was. Another artist remembered Tyre this way, painting a silhouette of Tyre skateboarding with a quote that reads, "Change the world." But that's not all. Besides the murals, Tyre's name was immortalized with many different parks renamed after him, like the Civic Canopy and basketball court at the newly renovated Tom Lee Park. His mom, Rovon Wells, and stepdad, Rodney Wells, signed the first wooden piece that was added to that canopy. And to show you just how far his story resonated with people across the nation.
Look at this. The skate park in Sacramento, California, a place that he spent hours skateboarding, was renamed to the Tyre Nichols Skate Park. Tyre once said about skateboarding, "When I'm on the board, that's when I feel the most alive."
Tyre's death also sparked new conversations about police reform, especially within the Memphis Police Department. Stephen Reels has the story.
In the months following Tyre Nichols' death, the city council appeared to actually be acting quickly to change how things were being run at MPD and how to hold officers accountable. The council passed several ordinances in the spring, but whether those actually went into effect has led to confusion and frustration here in Memphis.
A role under the watch of eyes across the nation.
I'm not a liar. I don't have to be a liar.
Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis defended her efforts to enforce several new ordinances within the Memphis Police Department following the death of Tyre Nichols 1 year ago. But a recent letter from former Mayor Jim Strickland saying he rejected those ordinances have left Memphians like Catherine Burgess, a reporter with the nonprofit MLK 50, skeptical.
There's some pretty good evidence to indicate that even if some of them were enacted, they were certainly not all. For one, we should have received a report within 6 months of the ordinances being passed, and that report has never been made public.
Among the ordinances in question, an end to pretextual traffic stops, unmarked vehicles, and the creation of a new public database to track issues, including the use of force. Current Mayor Paul Young says he wants to see these changes carried out, and discussions are underway with Davis about what has and has not been done.
We're already talking about how we can refresh some of the dialogue with the line staff so that they understand what the ordinances mean for their day-to-day work.
But activists like Amber Sherman say they want to see these plans public.
We want to see a tangible plan of what they're going to do, how the ordinances will be put in effect, and whoever the police chief is, we want to make sure that person also puts out a plan of what they're going to do.
Now, we sent emails to Memphis Police to see if they could tell us how these ordinances are being carried out. They've seen and responded to our emails, but have not given an answer at this time. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Stephen. On this date marking Tyre Nichols' death, the Department of Justice creating a special guide on the use of specialized units in law enforcement and when they are appropriate. The DOJ says they need to be managed with oversight to make sure they follow good policing. It offers guides on how to form such units, who should select and supervise them, and how officers should be held accountable. The guide says it's also important that communities engage with those special organizations on a regular basis. Tyre's family attorney Ben Crump had this response to the new DOJ guide, saying, "We hope police departments and chiefs nationwide will strictly adhere to this guidance. The unjustified death of Tyre Nichols and the circumstances surrounding that tragedy will not soon be forgotten."